Hey gang, in my many meditations, what I like to call meditations, or it's more like me communicating with the Father, and I just have my own I have my own way of talking with the Father, and usually involves me being isolated, and I just take my time apart from the family, and just me and my thoughts with the Father, because the Father, the Father, you can speak with the Father without using words, physical words, I should say. uh so the best way to describe would be, I guess, meditations, but it's my form of communicating with the Father. I'm on a few others, but in one of my meditations with the Father, I got something, as I usually do, and Father shared something with me. The Spirit of the Father shared something with me, and I wrote it down, and I thought it would be. It's not that I thought. I know that the Father wants you to hear it, whoever you may be. So I wrote it down here. Anyone who leads you in the belief that seeking the riches of this world is the same as seeking the way, the truth, and the life is leading you astray. The children of Satan who manipulate this world and make you their slaves call it generational wealth. Do you really think generational wealth can be stored in this world when we are eternal beings? Is it eternal wealth you are seeking after, or eternal damnation? Yep, that's the gist of it. Um, I guess that's self-explanatory, right? The Bible's very clear. The book, the Word, is very clear that the love of money, right? The love of this world, the ambitions of the things that, what I like to call shiny stuff, right? Uh, the ambitions of the shininess that this world has to offer, which is the only thing that the devil can pull over your eyes, can put in front of you to distract you from you waking up into the realization of who you are in the creation that you are, and who created you. There's a It's a very good reason, and it's deeper than just passing through it and just saying, "Oh, it's the love of money." Yes, the root of all evil is the love of money. But the money represents the wealth of this world, what this world has to offer. Now, Jesus told Pilate that my kingdom is not of this world. So Jesus told Pilate, his kingdom is not, it's not of this world. I mean, I don't know how else to explain that. Uh, but I have had, I've a bit more experience in the riches of his kingdom. And, and I have found that indeed they're two different things. And, unfortunately, we are, I don't want to say unfortunately, because the Father's plan is perfect and in his design. But reality is that we are born blind spiritually. We are born into this world blind and born blind to the detriment uh, of our acceptance without the Redeemer, which is Jesus the Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, right? Therefore, there's a lot of things that can take our attention away from us seeing the Creator, right? Um, and taking it a step farther, even after you have made a conscious uh, interaction with the Father, after the Spirit of the Father reaches out and knocks on your door, and you open the door, and you did that prayer, and 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 you felt the power of His Spirit, and you believe that you were born again, and you know that you are a new creation. You just know it, even after starting your walk with the Father, after making that interaction, that change. um it's still a possibility to be swayed, to be manipulated by the enemy. The enemy is, like I said before, guys, the enemy is very astute, very, the, the saying, the devil's in the details. The devil indeed is in the details. He will wrap you around the details to keep your eyes off focus of what's important, and realizing who you are and who the Father created you to be. And it's something that we are all we all fall for this one way or the other. It comes in many shapes and forms. It comes through situations, and it comes through people. The enemy will and house and embody anything that he can, anything that has been given the authority for it to manifest itself through. Okay. And again, people perish for lack of knowledge. Knowledge. The knowledge. What is the knowledge? The knowledge of the things of his kingdom, the things of the spirit. We lack the knowledge of how to combat the enemy in the spiritual realm. And we perish in areas because of it. And you can take that a step farther, which is, you know, people want to go straight to the thought of like, oh, people are going to hell because they don't have the knowledge. The fact of the matter is that everybody's going to be presented this. The Father is just, and the Spirit of the Father presents itself and knocks on every door of every heart in existence. And it's up to us to to either reject or open that door. But yeah, I wanted to share that. Um, you if you find yourself in that position where you started to realize that some things are not as they presented themselves initially to be, you're not trapped. See, that's one of the lies of the enemy, is that you have no other choice. You have no choice. You have to conform. That's failure. But the Father has mercy. Father will be merciful. And it will be a lesson at the end of the day. Nonetheless, it will be a lesson. And you will come on top at the end. You will come on top. But during that process, the main lie of the enemy is that you have to conform to the manipulative tactics, to the trap. You have no other way out. I have to do it for my kids. I can't bear, my heart is heavy and I can't bear to be away from my children and watch them grow. That's a tough one. You know, what are they going to think of me? What am I going to do now? I have to start all over again. All of those thoughts, all of those situations. But the fact of the matter is that when you learn to put your faith solely on your Creator, He doesn't disappoint you because of your obedience. He doesn't disappoint you. And you come on top on the other side of that obedience. You come on top, and the Father glorifies Himself, and He does justice in your behalf. You're not trapped. It's just part of the process. You're not trapped. You do have choices. You do have a choice, the choice. You can choose Him without fear. You can choose Him without fear of what's going to happen, of, of, of the what ifs. There is a choice. Don't conform to the lies of the enemy. I often find myself, and like I mentioned, in my meditative states, and have conversations with the Father, and alone, and in my thoughts. And sometimes the enemy wants to whisper in my ear, and bring thoughts of shame and thoughts of sadness, things from the past, or just trying to get me into a lower state of vibration, so to speak. It's just fancy words that these YouTubers are using. A lower state of continence, and and my day is off. I like to take some time to myself and just sit back and relax after I have some coffee or a good meal. Sit down. I'll sit down in front of the idiot box and with a PlayStation, and I have like two simple games that I like to just sit down and play. Nothing too crazy. I don't play with anybody mostly. Play some billiard game and whatever. That's, and in one of those instances, just yesterday, I think it was, or the day before yesterday, uh, some new buddies that I met online pop in, and they're very animated, and they're various ages. There's an older trucker. He's 55 years old. He's an older fellow. Uh, really funny guy, and they're all like Native Americans from like Canada, and they have a funny accent, so that's even more hilarious. But they don't. We keep it very light. There's no talk of serious spirituality or anything in that depth, at least not as of yet. But some political topics here and there, but again, the jokes just flying through. And one of the guys says a joke about Jesus, and I'm not gonna repeat the joke, but it was everybody laughed, and it was, in essence, the logic of the joke is humorous, you know. Um, and me just going with the flow or whatever, I giggled a bit and involved something with the nails, basically making fun of Jesus' sacrifice for the sake of that joke, right? And and immediately I I caught myself, and I felt like the spirit reached out to me, and the spirit of the Father reached out to me, and I saw Jesus, right? And flashes of like the movie, or like the Passion of the Christ, and thoughts of my relationship with Jesus, and and all of a sudden it wasn't really funny anymore, and I heard the words like, I thought we were friends. We're friends. The friends make fun of you know. And immediately inside of myself, I repented for even entertaining entertaining the thought of making fun of any part of his sacrifice, as if it's a fictional story, or and it became very real at that very moment in time. It really hit me, and it became very real. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus, of course I would defend you. Of course you're my friend. Of course you're my savior. Of course your sacrifice is not is nothing to laugh at. And it really got me. Really got me. And I just I'm just glad that the Father is so merciful, that Jesus is so merciful, that he understands our humanity, that he understands that we're going to make mistakes like these. He understood that Peter was going to deny him 3 times. He understands these things, and that he forgives, and all you can do is just show your appreciation and continue to grow in your relationship with your Messiah, with your deliverer. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I don't know where I don't know where you might find yourself in your relationship with the Christ. I see him as my big brother, my Messiah. I've had very intimate moments with Jesus Christ, and many in the beginning of me making that prayer and acceptance in my beginning, the beginning of my walk. I've had very vivid experiences, and sometimes we just get caught up in the shiny stuff, the distractions of this world, whether they be valid distractions or not, in the sense of like your work and you're paying bills and you're tired and things like that. And the fact of the matter is that we have to make sure that we appreciate his sacrifice. And I it's something I wanted to share. And yeah, I think that's all I got. Yeah. Till next time.